Hi, this is Bill, and you're on Finest Travel Beat with Angela and Bill. Today we're taking you along for one of the most memorable transfers you will ever experience, certainly on an Alaska cruise tour. The railroad ride from the Denali area to Whittier, where you'll connect with your cruise ship. If you've never done it, don't think just transportation. It's basically a sightseeing tour with a dining room attached, and one of the most amazing experiences you'll ever have on a cruise. Thanks again for watching. We hope you're enjoying these videos as much as we enjoyed making them. Now, the Denali transfers will go from Denali through Talkeetna, through the Anchorage area, and then finally to Whittier, Alaska, where you'll meet up with your cruise ship. Let's talk about how it feels. It's a long ride. It's 9.5 to 10 hours, but it's broken up naturally. It's there's so much to see. The seats are very comfortable. You'll have narration, meal service, plenty of photo movements, and the scenery changed a lot as you go in the interior down towards Prince William Sound. Now, you'll get on buses from the Princess Lodge in Denali for the short trip, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, to the train where the train will be waiting for you. It departs the Denali area about 8 a.m., and as I said, the trip is 9.5 to 10 hours. You'll be assigned a specific train car to go to and a specific seat. So there's no rush to go on and get the best seat. You'll get what they give you. There really is no better side than the other. Plenty of viewing, and there's a viewing platform as well. Now, you probably noticed that some of the rail cars say Princess and some say Holland America. Those are actually owned by the same parent company, Carnival, and their Alaska land operations share the rail cars and fleets. They're maintained by them as well. They're all part of the Alaska Railroad system, and they serve multiple brands. Holland Americas are a little bit different. They're called the Denali Explorer for cruise tours. But what you'll notice is that everything is kind of geared towards your brand you're sailing on, between whether it be the Princess car or a Holland America car. But the train ride is the same. The narrator and guide we had was named John, and he was absolutely fantastic. You'll hear a little bit from him now.
Hi, John.
Hello, greetings, salutations. I'm really looking forward to a fantastic day here on our trip to Whittier, Alaska. Everyone here is planning on getting on a cruise ship later, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, lovely. Anyone here not planning on getting on a cruise ship later today?
Stay on the train.
That guy, the one you were trying to get away from. Awesome. Well, it's going to be a fun day. I want to let you know right off the bat, if you didn't look at it, it's 10 hours today on the train.
John was fun. He was knowledgeable. He answered all of our questions. He gave us a lot of history and a lot of personal history, a lot of the story of his life and how he ended up in Alaska. That was one of the things we found really interesting about all of our Alaska experiences, was talking to people that came from the lower 48 and how they a lot of them ended up starting to work up there and ended up living there. They just really enjoyed the lifestyle of Alaska so much. And between the beauty and the friendliness of the people and the whole experience, I can certainly see how that could happen. Like I said, these train cars are built for Alaska and built for viewing. There are huge glass dome windows for viewing. There's an open air observation platform on the back of each one of the train cars. You can step outside, get some fresh air, some really nice photos without the glare of the glass in the way. The other thing is that your guide will let you know when there are things coming up, such as rivers, like you can see, or we were very lucky. We had some great views of Denali on our train ride, As you may have heard in your own research or in our previous videos, only about a third of the people that go to Alaska or go to Denali National Park are actually able to see Denali. So we were very lucky in that sense. Now, again, I can't emphasize it enough that when you hit 10 hours or 9.5 hours on a train, you think, oh my God, this is not a commuter train. Do not think your subways or Long Island Railroad or whatever commuter rail you have. These cars are meant for comfort. The seats are comfortable. Again, plenty of space to move around. You'll be up, people will be rotating through between the seats, viewing areas, talking to people. I will go over the dining in a few minutes. But there's dining. There's also a bar available on each car. You can get your drinks, get your Alaskan beer, whatever you like. And then also there are some souvenirs from the Alaska Railroad that are available, and the host will help you out with that. So now, speaking about dining, the dining room is on the first floor of these trains. They're basically double-decker train cars. The seating area, and that's just absolutely beautiful. This is a whole ride down. You see stuff like this. The second floor, the top floor, is the domed area where you'll actually be able to see out and sit down. You can see right here, I'm taking some video from the viewing platform at the back of the train car. Dining, let's talk about that. Food is always a big question. What do you get and how do you pay for it? As Princess describes, this is a full-service dining experience, made-to-order cuisine. You'll take turns going down, though. Basically, they will ask you, okay, who would like to eat now or who wants to wait? If you get on the train, you want to eat breakfast right away, they'll bring you down there. And then as that fills up, obviously, they don't have enough tables for everybody. So you may have to wait a little bit. But there was never really any point where you're hungry. It kind of rotates naturally. They really got it figured out very, very well. If you're going for Denali to Whittier, you're traveling normally breakfast and lunch hours. Sometimes you might be doing dinner depending on your route. But what's included can vary on your specific package. You'll have to look at your dining plan for that. At least one meal is part of the onboard experience. You can confirm with Princess or certainly, hopefully using a travel advisor, confer with your travel advisor about specifically what's included for you. Now, even when the meal service is included, which was on our package, is what we booked, is things like alcoholic beverages, they're additional. You got to pay for those. And then also the souvenirs, obviously, would be actually, they had pins, they had kind of railroad hats, stuff like that. As you can see there, Denali in the background, very hard to see. Again, but we looked out. 2 days in a row, we saw the mountain, and the mountain is phenomenal. Mount McKinley, Denali, whatever you want to call it, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Along the way, you're going to see a lot of small little villages and areas. You will go through Talkeetna. The train generally will make a stop at Talkeetna. That is one of the other Princess Lodges. If you've been watching these videos, we started off at the Princess Fairbanks Lodge. We spent some time there. There is also the Denali Princess Lodge, which is where we got on the train. There is a McKinley Princess Lodge, and then also Talkeetna. So you'll pass through Talkeetna to pick up some people that have done that part of a cruise tour. With Princess, there are many variations of cruise tours, everything from 9 days to 2 weeks. Talkeetna, you will also from there, you'll be able to see Denali on a clear day. My understanding is also a base for flight seeing tours. People that want to do small planes and flights can go through there. You'll also pass through Wasilla, Alaska. That's a little bit down towards the end. And then we'll talk about Anchorage in a little while as well. I mentioned this on a couple of other videos in this series, but let's talk about that now as far as luggage is concerned. This always stresses people out, the whole luggage situation, what goes to the ship and what stays with you. Now, if you started your cruise tour beforehand like we did, there is luggage that will go directly to the ship from the lodge, or luggage that will come with you overnight, every night, and it'll go to the next lodge. So, for instance, we got into Fairbanks. We end up keeping all of our luggage with us. The night before we transferred lodges, We left the luggage out. They met us the next day at the lodge. On the train portion, it's going to be slightly different, but similar. Your big luggage is going to go on the ship. It's not going to be with you. You can't obviously bring large luggage onto that part of the train, so that'll be left off the night before. They're going to be collected, and they're going to go on, generally on a truck, directly to the cruise ship in Whittier. We have air tags, so it was kind of fun watching and seeing whether we were beating the truck or the luggage was beating us. Now, as you can see in this segment, when we are going to areas that have really amazing views, like the river right below us, they'll let you know about it a couple of minutes ahead of time and slow it down. That way you can have your camera ready and everybody can get some really nice pictures or video. So your luggage will be transported to your stateroom later in the day. Think of it as like on a regular cruise where you get off, you leave your luggage with the porter on the side of the ship, and then it'll meet you back in your room later on in the day. It's really not a big deal. But this would be a great time to talk about what stays with you and what you should pack in your bag. Certainly you should pack your medications in a small backpack or knapsack, something you can carry with you. Your travel documents, your photo ID. Make sure you have your passports or whatever travel documents you're going to need with you. Do not check those. Under any circumstances, do not check those. And also make sure you don't drop it your passport anywhere, like between the window and the seat, where it's hard to get to. You're going to want to have a camera. Phone, spare battery packs, always a great idea. I purchased a couple of those. Portable chargers that you can have. There are charging stations at the trains, but I always like to have the portable battery pack with me. Light jacket, layers, certainly layers. A couple of snacks if you want. Basically, just bring with you what you would do in a small airline carry-on, not one of those big roller bags. But, you know, whatever you would need for a half day. If you were doing an excursion, an 8 or 9 hour excursion off a cruise ship, bring with you what you would normally bring for that. So don't sweat it. Don't stress out on the planning process. Princess makes it actually really, really simple and not as stressful as you may think. Before I get into the rest of the nuts and bolts of the ship, let me do shameless plug time. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button. If you've been on the Denali train ride, we'd love to hear your experience. And please hit that subscribe button. It tells YouTube that they should be showing our video to more people. And we have tons of videos on all kinds of cruise ships, ports. We have a whole series on the 11-night Alaska cruise tour. So hopefully all this information helps you out. The other thing that stresses people out about Princess is the medallions. Some people get them mailed to them. Some of them get them at the cruise terminal. How they do it, I have absolutely no idea. Don't stress it, though. It's really not a difficult process. On this one, most people had their medallions delivered on the train. There was a gentleman that got on. You can see him right there. And he went around and he had everybody's medallion, hand you the box, and it was a very, very smooth process. Saved time at the terminal as well. So if you don't get your medallion before, they'll hand them out to you on there. And there were a couple of people that he didn't have the medallions for. He was able to work it out. Again, don't stress things. Enjoy your vacation. You know you're getting kind of close when eventually be going through the Anchorage area. The Anchorage area is it's a big hub city. It actually started as a railroad construction camp. It is a key part of the railroad corridor there. Not a lot of hotels. Some people that are doing a Princess cruise only will stay in Anchorage. The cruise, even though it says it's Anchorage, the Whittier Cruise Terminal is really about an hour and a half away by bus from Anchorage. So it's not something where you could get on and just like walk to the terminal. It's actually a one-way tunnel that is shared between cars and the train, believe it or not, that actually gets you to the Whittier Cruise Port. You'll see that in a couple minutes. But transfers between, if you're staying in Anchorage, doing a cruise only, between there and Whittier, if your cruise is leaving out of Whittier, that is extremely, extremely important to make those transfers ahead of time. Now, also to explain, the reason why it takes quite some time is through most of it is a single track operation. So If there's a train coming in the opposite direction, you may have to wait at a siding for that train to come through, wave to everybody, and then you can go. And here now we're going through the tunnel that takes us to Whittier. It was really, really neat. Again, as you can see, it's interesting because we had to stop so that cars could go through. The cars go through, and then when the cars have gone through, then we can go through. And the guide will point out at the top of the mountain there are several glaciers. They were actually the first glaciers that we saw on our trip. And you can kind of tell right away because the blue is really, it's a different color blue. If you watch the rest of these videos, we go to Glacier Bay, you'll see all the glaciers in the world. It was really amazing. Now, a couple of things about the trip itself. Wildlife spotting. If you see wildlife, shout it out. Let other people see it. We didn't see a whole lot of wildlife. We did see some eagles, especially as we got closer to Anchorage. People shouted out. We saw some eagles. Don't be crazy sitting around in your seat just glued to the window hoping you see them. If you see them, though, shout out. Now, you can see we're on the other side of the tunnel. Those buses and cars there are waiting to go through that same tunnel. They have to wait through us to get through the tunnel before they can leave. Don't worry about getting to the ship a little bit late. It'll be one of the later embarkation days. I think here was about 6 o'clock by the time we got to the ship. And there it is. There is the Sapphire Princess, the ship we're on. We'll have a full ship tour of the ship later on in this series. But again, just beautiful, beautiful harbor. Prince William Sound is absolutely phenomenal. We traveled with a group of people, and it was really a lot of fun. The whole train ride was great. Everybody just had a phenomenal time, and the rest of the cruise is phenomenal too, as you'll see in future videos. Now, as you can see, the train's pulling in. The ship is right there. It's a very short walk. The only thing I will caution you about is don't get so excited taking pictures of the train or pictures of the ship or anything that you get hit by a car along the way. It is an active roadway there, even though it doesn't look like it. There can be cars leaving there, and as you can see, it's right there. You just got to walk over to that awning area, and then you're ready to get on the ship. Our cruise tour is really interesting because while most cruises start when you get on the ship for a week, hi Bob, this was interesting because it was kind of bittersweet because while we were looking forward to the 7-day cruise, it was kind of a bummer because we had such a great time on the land portion. Again, if you're only going to go to Alaska once in your lifetime, do a cruise tour. Trust me, you won't regret it. We walked across the street, went to the cruise terminal. Yes, there were people there a little bit earlier than we were. Not much of a line. They got us checked in quick through security. We were on the ship and enjoying ourselves. Again, we really hope you're enjoying these videos and getting information out of them. If you have any questions about this at all, please ask in the comments below. We love answering them. Thank you so much again. And on behalf of Angela, we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.